Did you quit Elite? Well, the short answer is yes, I did quit Elite Dangerous. After not making a video for about 2 years, you would come to the conclusion that I had quit, which is completely fair enough, I would have thought. I wouldn't blame anyone for not thinking that, you know, where did this guy go? They dropped Odyssey, and although I thought it was decent when it first came out, it very quickly went downhill like rapido. It was very difficult to play. The frames per second and just the general optimization of it was pretty poor, and it didn't seem to be getting any better. That and my graphics card died. That was another big thing that happened, really. The 1080 Ti at the time, and it was struggling at the best of times with most of what I was playing, but that just finished it off, I think. Poor thing, died a death, and I was without a graphics card for a while, actually. So why did I quit Elite? Oh, yeah, the graphics card going had a big impact, I'm not going to lie. But I just lost interest in the game, really. It just didn't push all the same buttons that, you know, it used to. It was very broken on release, Odyssey. It was, I think it put a lot of people off the game. That's another thing as well. Not many of my mates played it. I was making some new friends along the way, what with you know, streaming and whatnot, but my God. Odyssey was a real divider for the game. So yeah, I got to play quite a bit of Odyssey, and I made a few videos about it and all that, but well, I quit because I just didn't enjoy the game anymore. It's a shame, because I thought bringing all the foot stuff, that sounds a bit weird. Bringing all the on-foot stuff is probably a more better way of saying it. Bringing all the on-foot stuff to the game was a good step. And it was well implemented, I think, anyway. But yeah, no, just the performance killed it for me. Okay, I didn't have the best PC in the world, but I didn't have the worst by a long shot. And it just didn't run well enough for me to be able to enjoy first-person shooter combat, really. You know, if you're going to be flicking and aiming and stuff like that, then you really need it to be very well optimized, the game, and it just wasn't. Did you hear about the Thargoid Invasion? I did hear about the Thargoid Invasion. I didn't like disappear from the scene completely. I still watched people who played it and things like that. And I saw all the, you know, I saw Obsidian ad talking about the upcoming Thargoid Invasion and stuff like that. And I've got to be honest, it did nearly tempt me to get back into it. It really did nearly tempt me to get back into it. I was really keen. I was really considering it, actually. Well, I should have just jumped back in. But I think after that point, it was just sort of done for me. It sounds like I'm talking about a marriage breaking up. It does actually feel like, you know, it feels like some sort of weird therapy session. Tell me how you're feeling. But no, I don't know, man. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. What did you like about Elite? Well, the main thing that got me into Elite Dangerous in the first place, I think, was the scope. So how big the game was, and the freedom you had in it to do, you know, pretty much what you wanted to do. The ships, the combat, the bounty hunting, you know, and the Thargoids as well, obviously. Learning how to do the Thargoids was very rewarding. It was very difficult. It was very rewarding at the same time. And I know all that's changed now. I mean, it's been 2 years, so I haven't kept up to date with all the content, but I'm assuming that, you know, they've brought out more stuff for Thargoids and stuff. I'm probably very behind the times, but like, even like, you know, travelling and doing the Guardian Ruins and stuff, that was interesting. And yeah, I was never the biggest explorer. Like those, but going to like the Guardian sites were like the longest excursions I'd sort of go on. And yeah, going to find Thargoid combat zones as well, that's probably like the furthest I got in the game. I never went to like the other edge of the galaxy or anything like that. I couldn't do that. But hats off to the people who could do that, do you know what I mean? But I was not one of them. So yeah, no, fair play to them. So, but I love that about Elite. I think the combat for me was the best thing in Elite Dangerous. We had a spate as well. We had a player faction going, and that was decent as well. And then unfortunately, like I said, everyone sort of just quit playing the game when Odyssey came out, and that was it. Really, it was that was it. Dead. Player faction still in the game somewhere, I'm assuming. God knows how it was doing, but yeah. I can't even remember what system it was at. What did you not like about Odyssey? The thing I hated the most about Odyssey was the optimization. I hated... That was the thing that really sort of... That was the biggest thing for me. The lack of frames per second. I mean, I'm not a game developer. I have no idea how you go about making that better or anything like that. But for me, that was it. That was the final nail in the coffin, really, when I couldn't sort of play it properly or the way I wanted to. I wasn't asking for it to be buttery smooth, but the same token, it was not smooth enough. And yeah, I know it was in early days, and but it was just really, we paid good money for that, all of us. I don't think we got what we wanted. So that was the biggest thing I didn't like about Odyssey was definitely the frames per second. Why did you defend it? Well, I wouldn't say I defended it so much, but well, I suppose I did kind of defend it when it came out. I thought that it was a momentary blip. I mean, I thought they'd probably get the problem sorted out fairly quickly. Turns out they didn't. So that was it, really. But no, I did sort of come to its defence in the first sort of few weeks, I should say. I just wanted them to, take on board what everyone was saying about how poorly optimised it was, and how it needed to be sorted, and it needed to be sorted pretty quickly. Otherwise, everyone was going to be. Well, everyone was kind of up in arms about it, and yeah, no, that was it, really. Do you still have your flight sticks? No, actually, I don't. I don't have my flight sticks anymore. I got rid of them a couple of years ago when I knew I wasn't coming back to it, and I didn't play any other flight simulator games, so it didn't really make any sense holding on to them. They were in really good nick, so I sold them for second-hand on eBay, and actually got back pretty much at the time. This was like during the pandemic, I think, if my timeline is correct. I think it was during the pandemic, and yeah, flight sticks on eBay, and anything like steering wheels, flight sticks, whatever, anything to do with simulator games on eBay was going for mega money, like stupid money. So I think I sold them more than what I bought them for, so it was almost a no-brainer in that regard. So yeah, no, I don't have my flight sticks anymore, and that was the reason why. Just made some profit. What's next? Well, as you can probably see from it's been a couple of years since I've uploaded, and the reason for that is I've been busy, obviously, with work and getting over the pandemic and whatever. But moving forward, I'm really into sort of like my cars and definitely my motorbikes. So if anything going forward on this channel is probably going to be cars and bikes related. That's purely because it's my interest. If that's not your interest and that's not what you want to see, I completely understand. Fair enough. Thank you for subscribing and being here, but if cars and bikes and stuff is not something that you're interested in, completely understand, and I would not blame you if you didn't carry on your subscription. So, but that's probably the direction I'm going to go in. I do like being outside. I do like driving a lot. I do like cars. I like bikes more than I like cars, to be honest. And it's been so many years since I had a bike, or so many years since I had a motorbike that or a motorcycle, if you wish to be so more precise. I'm going to try and go in that direction. I think I enjoy fixing things. It's probably the main thing. I really, really get a lot of satisfaction from fixing things and making it all look like new at OEM and stuff like that. And I think cars and bikes is probably the way forward to go for me for the time being. Anyway, yeah. So if you did subscribe for Elite Dangerous content, then I respect you. Don't get me wrong, and I thank you for it. But there's probably not going to be any more. No, actually, it's not even probably about it. There's definitely not going to be any more Elite Dangerous content. I'm really sorry. Yeah, no, that chapter in my life is done, I think. My Elite Dangerous days are definitely done. It's a shame, really. It is. I really did enjoy that game, but I can't play it anymore. The early days of my channel were my best videos were the Elite Dangerous ones. I really, really appreciate all the comments, everyone who subscribed, all the views as well. They did really well, those videos, like really well, for considering that my channel has, well, at the time I had no subscribers at all. So I'm really grateful for all support, and I'm sure me moving directions is going to be, it's going to be a bit of a letdown for some people, and I get that, and I'm sorry about that, but it's just not going to be where I'm going to be going anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, if you don't want to stick around for the future of my sort of cars and bikes adventures, then fair enough, I don't blame you. I thank you, and if you do want to stick around, I really appreciate your support, so thank you very much for that. So nothing else to say really, apart from thank you, and for the last time, 07s.